people in their various local government communities to be very, very supportive by not throwing debts on the channels and not building structure on the waterways.
We are here in the States on a project called the Emergency Preparedness and Response Planning for Ondo State. It's a workshop that is going to look at prevalent hazards and risk that is in the state, and we're going to sit down with the representative of local government from the 3 senatorial districts and SEMA to look at what are those things that should be put in place to avert the impact of such disaster when it does occur. It's not just going to stop at the workshop level. We're going to put our thoughts on paper, which we intend to send to His Excellency, and this is going to translate into a project supported by the World Bank Group.
Our role as a bank is to provide technical support, but also to provide financial support to the state government, but also to the federal government. With NEMA, when we had the discussion, we saw that it's important to put a lot of effort towards preparedness, but we know we are still on earth. Even if you prepare like that, disaster will still happen. So we also need to look at how do we increase the capacities to respond when it happens.
Meanwhile, the Ondo State government has intensified efforts to combat flooding and protect lives and property with a call to residents to take precautions as the raining season reaches its peak. This followed as the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency has issued a 15-day alert warning that 195 local government areas across 30 states and the Federal Capital Territory are at risk of flooding between August 7 and 21st this year. The agency's assessment categorizes the risk into very high, and moderate levels based on rainfall forecasts and local terrain. Our reporter Joy Pius examines efforts put in place by stakeholders.
To prevent reoccurrence of flooding that affected over 5 million people, displacing 1.24 million, and causing 1,237 deaths nationwide in 2024, the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency has again issued a 15-day alert to flood-prone areas across 30 states in the Federal Capital Territory. The agency identified very high-risk states to include Adamawa, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Benue, Borno, Delta, Gombe, Kebbi, Kogi, Lagos, Niger, Ogun, Rivers, Yobe, and Zamfara. States with high to moderate risks included Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Cross River, Ebonyi, Edo, FCT, Imo, Jigawa, Kaduna, Kwara, Nasarawa, Ondo, Plateau, Sokoto, and Taraba. The alert is part of the agency's ongoing efforts to mitigate the growing impact of seasonal flooding. Which continues to displace thousands and damage infrastructure annually, with recommendations to stakeholders on preparedness. In Ondo State, the government says it intensifies efforts by collaborating other stakeholders to improve waterway management, thereby reducing flooding risks.
Force in Ondo State. This is the second time this signal will be coming. We've had the first time when NIMET gave the report, and that gave us an alertness, and we swung into action. Same thing, now that we're hearing this, about days ago that this is coming up. We've swung into an action immediately when we heard this. That what we need to do is a prevention. We've done that then, and now we can say we have, to a large extent, done what is called curative measure. Our waterway had been widened. I can speak that largely for very many of the local governments that had been noted for this to affect. We have cleared the waterway. A sanitation exercise has begun. Our sensitization is on. The depth of this watercourse had been deepened. The width has been widened to make sure that we'll be able to accommodate the free flow of water. We are prepared, haven't heard of their lackness. And then to our people, we're telling them not to feel agitated about this report. We are on course and very many things done to avert this act that is coming.
Calls went to members of the public to support government's efforts to mitigate the growing impact of seasonal flooding.
The only plea that I was saying to our people is that please, let's avoid this indiscriminate disposal of waste on our canal, on our waterway. If this happens, it affects us back.
Beyond government's efforts at combating flood risks, residents of Ondo State are expected to collaborate with relevant agencies and inculcate proper waste management culture. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
The maiden meeting of the Ondo State's Advisory Council has been held in Akure, the state capital. The meeting, hosted by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, was held at the banquet hall of the Government House. The Advisory Council is made up of selected leaders of the All Progressives Congress in Ondo State, with the objective of offering counsel and support to the governor on issues on governance and the growth of the ruling party. Government House correspondent Wahab Ankole tells us more.
It is the maiden meeting of the Ondo State Governors Advisory Council under the chairmanship of former National Vice Chairman of the APC, Pius Akinyelure, while the National Vice Chairman, Southwest of the party, Isaac Ikemeke, serves as the secretary. Hosted by the leader of the party in the state, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, the closed-door meeting deliberated on various issues bordering on the growth and development of the state. The GAC meeting came barely a week after the governor hosted the party's caucus meeting and ahead of the general stakeholders meeting. Speaking with journalists after the meeting, the GAC chairman, Pius Akinyelure, described the parley as fruitful, noting that it focused on strengthening ties between the government and the party.
I'm encouraged by the participation of our members. At the end of the day, it came out of the fact that we all believe we are a bridging gap. We want to make sure the government and the party have the same common goal. And whatever is going on in government is exposed to the party people, so they can equally go back to the public and disseminate the news about the activities of government.
Former APC National Vice Chairman Southwest, Bankole Oluwajana, commended the governor for convening the council, noting that the closed-door format encouraged frank discussions.
When people want to tell each other the truth, you close the door. One thing that is very, very commendable is the governor's receptive attitude to everything. For instance, for him, he has shown a lot of wisdom in accommodating everyone, no matter what your views were, before he became the governor in the state. So, in summary, it was a wonderful meeting, very wonderful meeting. And very soon you'll begin to see the effectiveness of the decisions that we have taken.
Former Senator Professor Ajayi Borofis explained that the council plays a key advisory role to the governor on policies and party unity.
As a council, we are to advise Mr. Governor on issues concerning its policies and the unity of the party. And that is exactly what we have done. Those who have some issues have raised it, and the governor has responded to them.
Other members of the GAC, Jamiu Ekungba and Awode Iyapata, stressed that the meeting will strengthen the party in the state ahead of the next general elections.
The person who therefore now say, look, if this thing works in Lagos, it has been done in Ondo State before, but how did it work? Now I want it to be done for me. It means that the governor is a person who wants to do what is right. That is ab initio what I got from it. And what I therefore demand of Ondo State people now is, let's give him our support.
We try as much as possible to make sure that we support the governor to achieve the goals and his objectives in being the governor of the state. And part of it is to see how we can, number one, development of the state, the values that can be added to the state to make the state to move forward, and the party itself.
On the outcome of the meeting, the GAC Secretary, Isaac Ikemeke, said the meeting aimed at stabilizing the government and party in the state.
We have also agreed that support groups, particularly presidential support groups, can continue to exist. It's their right to do so, but that they do not serve as alternative to the party. And that support groups cannot be used to divide the party. Support groups are meant to support the party and basically, for now, to support the presidential aspirations of our own father and the national leader of our own party, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Other leaders at the meeting included former Deputy Governor Ali Olanusi, Tayo Alasho-Adura, retired General Funsho Oyeneyin, Shola Iji, Bode Sumonu, Mayowa Akinfolarin, Ayodeji Oyedele, and Taiwo Fashoranti, among others. From the banquet hall of the Government House in Akure, Wahab Bankole.
In a fast-changing world where employment has no gender borders, the transportation trade is catching the interest of women in urban centers across Nigeria. In Akure, the capital city of Ondo State, the tricycle, popularly known as Keke Maruwa, has taken over transportation across the city. The most amazing tilt to the development is the influx of female tricyclists competing in the male-dominated trade. Our reporter Joy Pius takes a look at the growing number of women tricyclists in Akure and the prevailing realities for these women who dared to change the norm.
Estimated projections in 2025 indicates that 13 million Nigerians will fall below the poverty line due to high inflation, a weak naira, and rising interest rates. In Nigeria, women makes up approximately half of the population. However, poverty disproportionately affects them, with more than 60% of women living in extreme poverty. This disparity is evident in various sectors, including education, employment, and access to resources. Akure, the heartbeat of Ondo State, is alive with energy as men and women hustle side by side, pursuing their daily livelihoods. Gone are the days when certain jobs belonged to men alone. Today, the transportation business in Akure is seeing a transformation as more women take the wheel, challenging old stereotypes and closing the gender gap. Olayinka, a single mother, has been in the tricycle transport business for over 3 years, a means of livelihood she has identified with to provide for her children's education.
Ó jẹ́ nǹkan tí ó tún lè support mi fún àwọn ọmọ mi fún education wọn. So a ní láti wá kún iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ wa, especially àwa single mother. Kò sí irú iṣẹ́ tá lè ṣe báyìí tó lè assist wa rather than rí pé kí a wá kẹ̀kẹ́. A dẹ̀ rí pé kẹ̀kẹ́ yìí ó jẹ́ nǹkan ìrọ̀rùn fún wa láti wà ló jẹ́ ká bọ́ sí díẹ̀. Iṣẹ́ tẹ̀yàn bá ti ń ṣe tó ń mú oúnjẹ sórí table, definitely ká máa dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run.
One would imagine how women thrive in a male-dominated trade. For Olayinka, the space is large enough without gender conflicts.
Sábà ti já ticket ó ti tán. Everybody ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ, both ọkùnrin àtobìnrin, àjọ ń ṣiṣẹ́ wa lọ. So à ní problem.
Kí lọkùnrin ṣe tóbìnrin ò lè ṣe? Bọ́kùnrin wa kẹ̀kẹ́ obìnrin á gbé sáré. Kí lobìnrin ṣe tóbìnrin ò lè ṣe?
Mrs. Esther Ifetoye, a middle-aged woman, prides herself in the prestige and income provided by the keke trade.
Kẹ̀kẹ́ a ò máa gbèrè ń ṣe. Àmọ́lé yà káàkiri, so ìdí ni eléyìí tá fi lọ kọ́ṣẹ́ kẹ̀kẹ́ yìí. Torí obìnrin bá jí làárọ̀ tó bá ná pánusẹ̀ sílé ìyá máa jẹ́ pa ni. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá wà nídìí iṣẹ́ ẹ, bóyá ṣọ́ọ̀bù ló ṣí ni, bóyá ìdí kẹ̀kẹ́ ni, bóyá máṣíìnì ni, gbogbo wọ̀nyẹn ló dára kí obìnrin kí ó máa kọ́ṣẹ́.
Kì í ṣiṣẹ́ obìnrin rárá, ká má tanra wa, kì í ṣiṣẹ́ obìnrin. Bọ̀ tí ò bá sí wéè, o ò rèèyàn ràn ẹ́ lọ́wọ́, o ò lẹ́bí, o ò lára, tó bá ti lápá tó lójú tó lẹ́sẹ̀ tó lọ́pọlọ wàá ràn ẹ́ lọ́wọ́ oníṣẹ́ kẹ̀kẹ́ tí obìnrin ṣe. ìgbà tí mo gbà ní $6 million summit mo dẹ̀ ń sọ ní every month every week so 60,000 naira ṣe ni pé ó sì máa help.
What an old woman can do, I can still do it as a young lady. So that was the reason why I said I want to learn it, and I started learning it and I started driving it.
Beyond the passion and bravery that inspired these women into taking up a male-dominated trade, the societal prejudice remains, but won't deter them from following their passion.
Lójúkọ mi wá ṣe mọ̀ pé táìmù rẹ ní season báyìí àti pé ní àsìkò tí a wà yìí ọjà ò kì í fi bẹ́ẹ̀ yá.
Many insulting words, like people insult you in different way, tell you okay, those people that used to drive marijuana, they said they are an alcoholics, they used to drink, they used to smoke, that okay, you've turned yourself to a thug, a tout. So many challenges, nothing in this world that can discourage me, because I believe I only want to do what pleases me.
However, many of these female tricyclists do not own a tricycle, begging the need for government and financial institutions to complement their efforts. Joy Pius for Osrc Social and Community.
That's it for now. We'll bring you more stories later in the day. Good afternoon.
Cool.